Hello everyone, hello. This year is dedicated to Lili Nishmas, Rachalei Abbas, Reb Chaim Tzvi. We're learning the Chavetz Chaim Klal Gimel, and we've learned so far Seifim Aleph and Beis. Klal Gimel, the first part of Klal Gimel talks about the statement of Rabbi Yossi in the Gemara. Rabbi Yossi says that he would say something and he never had to retract it. And the Gemara interprets that's referring to Lashon Hara, that somehow that if you'd be willing to say something in front of the person you spoke about, you wouldn't retract. You'd still be able to say it. So what does Rabbi Yossi mean? So the Chavetz Chaim explains, he doesn't mean real, outright, degrading Lashon Hara. No, that's terrible. Lashon Hara is asur if you say it behind somebody's back. Lashon Hara is asur if you say it in front of the person you're speaking about. And just because you'd be willing to say this in front of the other person, it's still asur. It could be even worse. That could be chutzpah. That's brazen. Okay. So what does he mean? So the Chavetz Chaim quotes in the Sefer itself, in the top part, in the halachos, in Sif Beis, he quotes Tosfos. That Tosfos says it's referring to something a statement that could have a positive or negative meaning, depending on how you say it. You have to be careful. A person might interpret what you say negatively. So Rabbi Yossi is giving us a gauge that if you'd be willing to say this in front of the person you're speaking about, then clearly you're saying it with the right intention, with the right inflection, and you have a positive intention in mind. So it's an internal gauge that a person can use for himself regarding that type of middle-of-the-road comment, but not for real Lashon Hara. That's the psak of the Sefer Chavetz Chaim. In the footnotes, I mentioned last week at the end of the shir, in the footnotes, the Chavetz Chaim points out there's also the pshat of Rabbeinu Yonah, which he quotes here as well. And this is very lemaisa. The Chavetz Chaim returns back to this idea in Klal Yud, Bez Hashem we'll get to in a later class, but he refers to it here as well. This is another interpretation of what Rabbi Yossi meant. So the Chavetz Chaim quotes, this is very long footnote Beis, very, very long. Towards the end, or maybe the last third, he quotes Rabbeinu Yonah, and it's as follows. Rabbeinu Yonah holds that Rabbi Yossi is referring to a case of Lashon Hara le toelas. That you're speaking Lashon Hara, and it's mutter for some reason, le toelas. The benefit is, the benefit is, there's some sort of benefit, and we've been discussing already, we'll discuss in the future. Sometimes Lashon Hara is for toelas, it's mutter. There's a benefit. You're saving someone from harm, you're giving somebody a warning, there are rules, how to do it, etc. But fundamentally, Lashon Hara toelas isn't asur. It's not Lashon Hara, it's Lashon Tov. You're doing something good. Okay. So you're speaking Lashon Hara toelas for the benefit. Now, Rabbi Yossi is pointing out as follows. He's referring to the following idea. When one speaks Lashon Hara toelas, your intention has to be for the toelas. If you're speaking Lashon Hara for a benefit, you want to protect someone, but your intention inside is, I want to help protect Ruvain, but also, let's say you're speaking Lashon Hara about Shimon in order to protect Ruvain, and you happen not to like Shimon very much. So when you're speaking this Lashon Hara, you're happy. Here's my chance. I'm getting back at Shimon. Shimon wanted something bad to me. I'm getting back at him now. I don't like Shimon. I'm happy if Ruvain thinks Shimon's a bad guy. So I'm speaking Lashon Hara to help Ruvain, to protect Ruvain from something from Shimon. Okay, that's toelas, that's mutter with certain conditions. But I'm saying the Lashon Hara, and I have in mind that I'm against Shimon as well. And I'm happy that I'm getting Shimon back. I'm doing something bad to Shimon. If you're speaking Lashon Hara l'toelas, and you have in mind this negative thought as well to get Shimon, that is still asur. That is still asur. Your kavanah has to be only to help Ruvain. That is a rule in regarding that is a rule in Lashon Hara l'toelas. So Rabbeinu Yonah holds as follows, that how can you judge whether that's really your intention? Is my intention to help Ruvain, or is my intention to get Shimon back? How strongly do I feel that I'm doing this for exactly the right reasons? So Rabbeinu Yonah writes, that's what Rabbi Yossi is referring to. He says here as follows. This is in the last third of the footnote base. Al zeh pasak, im mishar ba'atzmo, degam befanov, lo hayachozer mi la'omro, mutar afilu shelo befanov. If a person thinks to himself, I'd be willing to say this even in front of Shimon. I'd be willing to say it in front of Shimon. I know my intentions are pure. I'm trying to help Reuven. I'd say it in front of Shimon. Then the Lashon HaTorah says mutter. The ilav halchi, if not for this, yuchal liyo shelo niskaven be'emes beganuso also beganoso so avur kanaso kinaso al chamas asher b'chapav mashagazav b'chamas obiyeshu chaveru rak nehene